Generosity starts with action, and that's why the staff at Mission Music are working actively to break the financial barriers for music education and therapy. By providing free instruments and lessons to those in need, we empower everyone with music.
You're watching Mission Music's Break with the Band. I'm Chase Greer, and I'm here with the Dead Milkmen. So your band name is really unique. Can you tell us how you came up with it, and were there any previous names?
He's going to lie, but because he always lies about the name. The truth is, I claim I know the truth.
Right,
he was reading a book by Toni Morrison called Song of Solomon when we were young. There was a character in that called Milkman Dead. That's what I claim it was, but he's probably got 10 different stories.
But wasn't there a name before the Dead Milkmen?
It was they were the
Sunflower Children of God were
Sunflower Children of God were the original, yeah.
Were a band that had members of the Dead Milkmen. We had a game that Garth and I made a game where you make up songs and you roll dice and you have cards and
it was based on payola. You didn't have to pay to put it up and down.
We had Monopoly money, dice, and some. And we made a little board, and it was called Billboard Top 100 or Top 200, I forget. And you had to get your song up the chart, and in that game you get to make up your own artists. And I made up an artist called Jack Talcum, and that started in my mind the whole imaginary world of Jack Talcum and what he was like a really bad folk singer. But he wanted punk rock was coming along, and he wanted to be in a punk rock band, and he found this band called the Dead Milkmen.
Yeah, the band actually existed only on paper before the actual band existed.
Right, I even made up a newsletter about Jack Talcum and his Dead Milkmen.
Yeah, I think you should always have like a fake sort of constructed world around the band anyway.
It existed even before any actual songs came about.
Wow.
And then some songs came about and recorded them with Garth and with other people, and Rodney heard some of them. But that's how the name came about, is because I needed a name for the band for Jack Talcum to front. And I wanted something that sounded punk. We started to become a band that we were going to get a show. I thought we should change our name to something else.
I raised my hand that too.
And we did come up with a bunch of different names.
Including Husker Du.
Which was also already taken.
Which was also a game, oddly enough.
And we had 2 weeks between when we said Dean was in the band and we had a show. And it was in that period of time that the name stuck with us because
we played that show.
And Dean, not only that, Dean spray painted Dead Milkmen on his drum cases. And I didn't think he should have to take that off.
It did seem, so really, you made the effort,
And he came up with the logo shortly after that, and it's really made it.
And the rest is history.
That's awesome. What would you say are some of the most important lessons you've learned through playing music?
The most important thing I've learned in my lifetime is keep your ears open, keep being interested in new stuff. Don't. I meet so many people. I'm like, hey, there's a great new band. I don't want to hear about it. I've already set in my ways, and it's just that's my thing. Is there's always fascinating stuff coming around that you can learn from, and people are always doing things differently.
That's a good one.
That's good.
I would second that.
Yeah. Now, Dan, you have to disagree.
What was the question? It's interesting because I grew up as a fan of the band, and I felt like it helped me deal with like issues going on, like getting picked on and having a tough time in school and stuff. And I just would like listen to the music really loud, and it would make me laugh or just not care. And now I'm kind of involved in it, and watching other people experience that is kind of cool.
Yeah, well, the biggest challenge I think for a lot of people was there's never a lot of people around to really encourage you. You know what I mean? There's never, I didn't, nobody say, oh, you should do this and that, And it wasn't until I think we were on the radio once. My parents said that they were proud of what we.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
For me, with guitar, the hardest thing was fretting a chord, especially a bar chord. When a bar chord or a chord that had all the strings suppressed.
Yeah, those hurt.
And changing that chord to another chord in time and playing the other chord. Those were the hardest obstacles that I remember getting. Once I could go from one chord to the other in a rhythm.
Yes.
Once you get that down, then it's everything
the world's
else
your musical oyster. Yeah, once you get the bar chord.
So, can you describe your first instrument and how old were you when you got it?
I started playing piano at 7, I think. And then a year or two later, I started taking violin and then trumpet, and I was really getting into music. And then I quit them all to learn guitar because I also wanted to join a rock band. My mom was a piano teacher,
Yeah.
so maybe I was like rebelling or something.
Oh, I see. Because I'm always saying, like, there's my first instrument, and this is what I should have stuck with, and it's going to sound a little weird at first, hear me out on this, was a metal detector. I had a
Really?
metal detector. I got one. I was like 8 years old or whatever. And I'm like, maybe I could use this to make music. And they're like, oh, you can't do that. This is why you should never let anybody tell you can't. If you have something that you think you can rock out with, by all means, rock out.
When I started drums, I only had a practice pad for like the first year,
That's all you need.
and then we played the drums at school. But I guess I got my only drum kit, which is down there.
Yeah, down there. It's still
when I
the
was
same
in
drum kit.
7th grade.
Wow, really? That's the same one?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So
What about you?
I got my first guitar when I was 15. I got it for my birthday. It was acoustic. It was not the best, but I learned on it, and it was not easy to play. And exactly a year later, for my next birthday, I got a much better guitar.
Do you have any tips for parents whose kids want to get into music?
Encourage your kids. Whenever I see a kid, it's a natural thing. Whenever I see a kid in a restaurant, like drumming loudly with the spoons, and the parents are like, shh, don't do that. I encourage him not only to hit louder with the spoons, but to use the plates as cymbals.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe parents need to tell their kids not to get into music.
no.
Yeah,
No,
no, like
yeah.
me. No, because my mom, I ate nothing but
Reverse
junk
psychology.
food growing up, and now I love vegetables, and it is that sort of, that sort of rebellion against that. Just encourage. I don't think kids get enough encouragement. I don't think, there's always somebody saying you can't do this, or, and not necessarily parents, but there's somebody at school or somebody being a jerk. Whenever somebody says you can't do this, what they're saying is they can't do it. So, just if you have kids and you think it's a horrible racket, those kids are onto something. That is, I will buy their album. You're like, oh, this is Billy, turn it down. It's awful. No, I want that album. I want that record.
That's really cool. All right, so finally, what advice could you give for any aspiring young musicians?
Why are you looking at me? Because I'm the youngest
Well,
one.
yeah.
Don't give up. Study hard and stay in school.
Keep your ears open and try new things and different things.
Oh yeah,
You might discover something
what
that
you
you
love.
didn't know you liked.
play what you like.
Yeah.
Need an instrument? Want to donate? Join the mission at missionmusicnow.org.